Imagine this, you wake up one morning to military jets flying low overhead. You look at your phone and it says, no signal. There are rumors online, there a cyber attack, an EMP, bombings, no one knows for sure. You hurry out of your house, get in your car to find the answers. But by the time you get to the gas station, everything is offline. You drive further down the street, the traffic lights are out, and by the time you get to the grocery store, it's been ransacked. People are starting to panic. They're confused and they start fighting over simple things like bottled water. This is the opening act of what a modern conflict could look like. We're talking about World War III. World War III won't start on a draft notice. It'll start in silence, blackouts, and fear. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to have prepared if you want to survive the first 90 days, because that's when things are going to unravel the fastest. And if you're not ready before it starts, it might already be too late. In this video, we're going to go over 4 different tips that are going to help you survive World War III. And we will begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, tip number 1 is to build a redundant power system and have backup comms or communication. If World War III starts with an EMP, cyber attack, or grid lockdown, you'll be instantly cut off from both information and power. This is why your first move is to have a layered power and comms setup. Solar plus a battery bank, a Faraday bag with backup tech like a radio and old phone, solar charger, a USB light, an NOAA crank radio for updates if the satellites go down. Why this works? Most people panic when the lights go out because they've never thought beyond the wall plug. A portable system keeps your flashlights, comms, and devices alive long enough to make real decisions. Some mistakes to avoid in this first tip is relying on your phone for information. Another mistake to avoid is not testing your radio and batteries before World War III hits. Another common mistake is buying a generator without buying backup fuel already stored. A couple smaller tips that pair well with tip number 1, which is building a redundant power system and communications, is to pre-download some emergency maps and offline GPS apps. One that I love is Onyx Hunt. I use Onyx Hunt every single day as both a hunter and previously as a real estate agent and somebody who looks for offline listings for properties. When my internet's down, I can still use Onyx Hunt. Another tip that pairs well with tip number 1 is to get a ham radio license, or at least a Bofang radio with local frequencies program into it. If you think staying powered and informed is all you need to ride out the storm, just wait. Just wait until you hear about what happens when the food systems collapse. Tip number 2, create a tiered emergency food system. Here's the breakdown. Once the war disrupts shipping lanes, factories, and/or farming, food will disappear faster than anything else. You need a tiered food plan that covers short-term, mid-term, and long-term survival. Tier 1 is ready to eat, MREs, protein bars, and canned goods. Tier 2 is shelf-stable. I'm talking rice, oats, peanut butter, etc. Pasta. Tier 3 is long-term bulk foods, plus freeze-dried kits. You're thinking 25-year shelf life products. Why does this work? Tiered prepping systems ensures that you're not just eating beans for 3 months straight. You have a variety of nutrition, which is going to be important for staying healthy, and it's a morale booster, which is a key for mental health in a crisis. Here's some mistakes to avoid when creating your tiered food system. Only buying freeze-dried foods. These are expensive and they need water. Forgetting to add cooking tools like a camp stove or fuel or even utensils. Ignoring water storage. Most foods are going to need water to prepare. Plus, you're also going to want to have some backup water in case you have an issue with water shortages. It's possible that some sort of environmental event is what kicks off World War III, whether that's a drought or a volcano going off or an earthquake. So for that reason, there could be something that causes a shortage of water. So be prepared with extra water backups. Bonus tips that pair well with this tip number 2, which is a tiered food system, is storing multivitamins and electrolytes. Rotating these items every 6 to 12 months. You should check your food storages and make sure that they're not going bad, mice are not getting into them, they're dry and safe, etc. And also check the dates on your food stores. A third thing that pairs well with this is you want to store things like oils, salt, and vinegar. Those three things on top of your food stores are gonna change your life. You can preserve most foods with oils, vinegar, and salt. You can preserve meat, you can preserve vegetables, etc. There are Bible verses that talk about how the wise man stores up choice oils in his household. I'll put that Bible verse on the screen. All right, so talking about food stores, I've got a really cool product right here that you can add to your lineup. This is from Wild Society Nutrition. It's run by TJ Dillashaw, two-time bantamweight UFC champion. So you know he's on his nutrition game. The beautiful thing about this product right here, it's a whey isolate with electrolytes. We talked about how you need multivitamins and electrolytes in your food stores. This is going to be full of vitamins, minerals, protein, and you got your electrolytes in here. So this is their latest flavor right here, the lemon lime. I highly recommend it. They also have their citrus punch as well. So we're talking about sodium, potassium, magnesium, and you're going to get 20 grams of protein per serving. Protein is also going to be super important. If you think about it like this, let's say World War III hits, you get in some sort of altercation, whether it's fight with your fists or a gunfight, or you run from a bear, or you just run for your life, you're going to be tearing your muscles up, so you're going to want a good protein source, and whey isolates are faster absorbing, so you're going to recover faster than if you just have a typical whey protein. And the best thing about this, I got this about 6 months ago, and the expiration date is in 2027. Right now it's 2025, so I've got at least a couple more years on this bad boy right here. These guys are going to be a great addition to your pantry. It's going to be important you have some variety in your pantry to keep your mental sanity, because if you're eating rice and beans every single day for a year, 2 years, however long, you're going to go a little bit crazy with all the other chaos that's going on in the world. So having some delicious products that kind of mix it up a little bit are great. One last final note, although you do want some variety, you don't want too much variety. Now, when you have a lot of variety, it means you're going to have more things to manage. It's going to be harder to count. You're going to have more SKUs, which are items on the shelf, and that creates some logistical problems, because now I'm spending more mental effort and time managing products in my food stores versus just keeping things super simple so I can focus on the predators or the terrorists or whatever else is outdoors. So if you don't have enough variety, get yourself some Wild Society Nutrition, get some of these whey isolates that last literally a couple of years on the shelf, or some sort of other great product like this. Now I want to take a quick pause here to let you guys know that there's a 90-day checklist that you need to survive World War III or an apocalyptic type situation down in the description below. So do me a favor, watch this video all the way to the end, and then go in the description and click that link for that free 90-day checklist. Once you get that 90-day checklist, there's a second free survival document for you that's going to help you survive World War III and the apocalypse. I appreciate you guys. Keep watching the video. Now, before I show you the next strategy, which could be the difference between you and your family being a target or survivors, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. Shoot a comment with any of your feedback so you never miss a step in your preparedness journey. Tip number 3, know when to bug out and where. When bombs fall or martial law is declared, staying put might be the death of you and your family. You need 2 bug out plans. One local, within 15 to 30 miles, and one regional, up to 100 plus miles away. Now, why does this tip number 3 work? Number 1 is flexibility. Flexibility equals survival. Most casualties happen in the first wave because people hesitate. Knowing your exits and having a stocked bag plus gas in the tank gives you a critical edge. A couple mistakes to avoid include not having gas on hand. Always keep 5 to 10 gallons of extra gas on hand and have your gas tanks in your car full. I have a reminder in my mind that every time my gas gets to half full, I have to fill it up. This also protects your car. I had a family member who got in a car crash and their tank was just over half full and their car caught on fire. The husband of the wife passed out in the car when they crashed. He was able to pull the wife out of the car and walk away from the scene. Had their tank been less than half full, it became more of a fire hazard apparently, so the car could have exploded. So it's also a safety thing to have more than a half tank of gas. So have a full tank of gas. If it gets to half empty, fill it up and have 5 to 10 extra gallons of gas on hand at all times. Additional tip, if you keep both diesel as well as regular gas, have them marked properly. I have red tanks for my regular gas, green tanks for my diesel. And then if I have premium gas for my other tools and things like that, my hedge trimmers, my chainsaw, etc. An additional mistake to avoid, having no paper maps. If GPS fails, you're gonna want a paper map. I got one from our Forest Service here in North Idaho that's gonna show back roads, which is important so that if I need to bug out, I know where all the back roads are, I know where additional roads are. Maybe a tree falls down on a road, I have this map that can show me extra ways to go to get from point A to point B. A final mistake to avoid is not discussing the plan with your family on time. You need to plan with your family. So get together with them, set up a meeting, go over your survival plan. You be the leader. You be the leader and show your family that you need to be prepared for an emergency. So when World War III hits, they're for setting up that meeting. A couple add-ons to this tip about bugging out is to pre-pack a gray man go bag. This is the type of go bag that allows you to blend in and to stay invisible, so you're not a target during World War III. An additional add-on is to walk the paths you have planned for your bug out regularly. The regional one that's within 10 to 15 miles or less, walk that one at least once a week, or even once a month. And the regional one that could be up to 100 plus miles away, go visit that one at least every 6 months so that you are familiar with the paths. And an additional add-on to walking those paths is to cache items on those paths. If you cache some extra items on those paths that you check every month to 6 months or a year, have little key spots like a stump that has a hole in it. Maybe you hide a lighter in there. Or maybe you found a small cave that you can hide some items in. Or maybe there's a beautiful tree that's a landmark for you that you camp at every single year. Cache something in its roots or up in the tree, climb up in the tree. So you've got food, power, and a plan to get out, but none of this matters if you don't know how to defend it. Tip number 4, you need low profile security and self-defense. In a breakdown scenario, desperation leads to violence. The smartest preppers don't just arm themselves. They blend in and stay off the radar, or as Mike Glover says, stay off the X. So some things to have at home are blackout curtains, minimal noise and light at night, camouflage gear, no flashy signs of wealth or supplies. Some mistakes to avoid in this tip number 4 are showing off your gadgetry or gear and posting it online. Thinking a single weapon equals safety. Training matters more than gear, so make sure you're training with every single weapon. If you're going to be bringing a sidearm with you into World War III, you need to be practicing with that pistol. If you're going to be bringing a tactical blade with you into battle, you need to be practicing with that tactical blade. At the very least, practice drawing the weapon regularly. If you practice drawing the weapon 3 or 4 times a week, you'll be far more prepared than anybody else. Every time you put on your concealed carry weapon, you should practice drawing it. You should also practice in every scenario, like when you're driving, I should be practicing drawing my concealed carry weapon, because you don't know if you're going to need to draw it while driving. Some additional things to pair with this tip number 4, which is having self-defense and low profile security, is learning basic hand-to-hand fighting. Go join a local jiu-jitsu school. Jiu-jitsu is a great foundation for all martial arts. In modern day jiu-jitsu, you can walk into almost any school and you can start live rolling with people, which will get you better at self-defense. Traditional martial arts are not your best friend in this case. Practice things like jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, regular boxing, Thai boxing, wrestling. All of those things, including an actual MMA or UFC gym, are going to get you more prepared for an apocalyptic type scenario. And even better if you can find a gym that practices live rolling and sparring, but also practices with weapons, drawing fake pistols and knives and things of that nature. An additional thing to practice and pair with your home defense is practicing home perimeter drills and awareness. This includes having motion lights, finding where you can trigger them, having simple alarms set up around the house. One thing I loved about Alone Season 6, if you watch Jordan Jonas, he set up a can system. He found old cans at his camping spot, and he set up an alarm system to let him know when a moose came by, which he was later able to shoot, and he was the first person to shoot a wild game animal on the show Alone. He might be the only person. He also set up alarm systems for triggering when this wolverine came to steal his moose and his fat that he rendered down from the moose. Knowing how to set up simple alarm systems like that is useful. Plus, you can also use modern technology alarm systems as well. We've got 3 dogs here on the property. I highly recommend you guys have some well-trained dogs. Having a well-trained dog is almost better than having a firearm. If I have a dog that knows to check the perimeter, they can protect from predators, from people trying to take our stuff. They can alert us of dangers. I also have commands for them to go out and check dangers. I can also have them go and sniff something out I have commands for having them go and look for certain things. So a well-trained dog is better than any firearm you could possibly have when it comes to home defense. Maybe not as good as tactical, CQB, and good at going out and assaulting an enemy, but for home defense, a dog is one of the most powerful things. A well-trained dog is one of the most powerful things that you can have. Now remember, I said well-trained. Just having a dog is not useful. Modern dogs are not trained for an apocalyptic type situation. However, if you train your dogs properly and teach them more than just your typical sit, lay down, roll over skills, you teach them how to find things, you teach them how to corral an animal, you teach them how to walk with you and be silent while hunting. Those are all skills that could save you and your family's life. And if you want to know my favorite breed of dog, it's going to be a German Shepherd all day. They're the most well-rounded dogs on the planet. We have German Shepherds, we've got Huskies, we've got LGD dogs, all serve different purposes. We've also had Border Collies and other shepherding dogs like Blue Heelers, and they're great specifically for herding. The LGDs are good for protecting the property. Huskies are good for hunting. They're also great working dogs, very smart. You can teach them a lot of things. But overall, the most well-rounded dog you can get that's good for everything from tactical to hunting to herding to athleticism, you name it, is going to be the German Shepherd. So if you're going to go get a dog for World War III, for the apocalypse, for survival, for homesteading, whatever, and you don't know what dog to get, 100% get a German Shepherd. They are the best and most well-rounded dog on the planet. Final wrap up. Here is the truth. World War III might not come tomorrow, but if it does, it'll happen fast, and you won't get a push notification to tell you. You'll be on your own, alone, and your survival will come down to what you've already done and practiced, or what you didn't practice. We don't rise to the level of our expectations, we fall to the level of our training. The first 90 days of World War III will separate the panicked from the prepared. And if you made it this far in the video, that means you're ready to be on the right side of that line. So do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button so that you can be prepared for World War III by watching more of our survival videos. I'm going to include a link to a 90-day emergency checklist. It'll be linked down below in the description. Like this video so that YouTube shows you more, shows it to others who might need the same information. You can save somebody else's life by liking this video. Now go get out there, make your plan, communicate with your family these tips and tricks, and start training today. I appreciate you. God bless.